my name's Olivia Miller, as Joe said, and I'm a student at Bozeman High School, but I'm also the founder of Mano-Collective, and I work as a One Ocean Diving Global Ambassador. So what this means is basically I do my best to educate people about sharks and kind of understand the misunderstood, because sharks are not bloodthirsty killers. They're not mindless. These are just like calculated, amazing predators who do not deserve to be killed like we kill them. So One Ocean Diving, the company I work for, they are out of Haleiwa, Hawaii on Oahu. And last summer I had the opportunity to live in Hawaii, and I dove with them a bunch. And then when I came back in September, I came back in August. In September I became a global ambassador for them. So that means I go around to schools and I talk with the Bozeman Film Festival about how sharks are important, and I try to change people's minds to see what these animals really are and not what they're seen as. So One Ocean Diving's methods are conservation, education, and research, and through all these ways they work really hard to change people's minds about sharks. So in my experience with sharks has completely changed my life. I've lived in the mountains forever. I've always been in Bozeman, but somewhere along the lines I fell in love with the ocean, and that love has been with me ever since. So last summer I dove with sharks. This is a picture of me with several Galapagos sharks, and these guys are about like 6-ish feet long. They can get bigger than that, and they are phenomenal. They roll up and make eye contact with you, and they just want to see what you're doing because they're so curious, and you don't even feel threatened when you're with them. You can be terrified of sharks and step in the water, and as soon as you make eye contact with them, you fall in love with them, no matter who you are, I promise. So from here, I went to Singapore in November just as a vacation, but I ended up going to many markets there and seeing shark fins, and this was the first time that I had seen the evidence of sharks being killed in person rather than just watching videos and seeing films like Sharkwater Extinction. And it kind of hit home. I saw fins from hammerheads and blue sharks and all these sharks that I dream of swimming with someday, and the first time I've seen them is like displayed on a wall. And I had an experience with an oceanic white tip when I was getting my scuba diving certification last summer, and as they weren't nearly as close to me as they were with Rob, but just seeing this shark was so amazing, and I walk into a store and see their fins displayed on the wall, and that just was so painful. And I saw the same thing with a whale shark, and they're just the most amazing creatures to me. Their skin looks like they have stars on it, and they don't even have teeth. They just like filter feed, and I don't know how anyone could kill them. They're like 45 feet long, and they're the most amazing creatures in the world, and I walk into a store and see a polka dotted fin sitting on the wall. And this amazing beast has been reduced to nothing but their 3-foot-long fin, just as to be a trophy for someone. So you see me swimming with those little Galapagos sharks, and you think, oh, those are the nice sharks, because people ask me that all the time. But this is Ocean Ramsey, the co-founder of One Ocean Diving, with a great white shark. So great white sharks, their jaws, they're mean, right? No, they're not. This is a female great white shark. She's about 23 feet long, some of the biggest that they've ever recorded in history, and Ocean's right alongside her. So great white sharks aren't normally in Hawaii. They're not supposed to be there. But in about March, maybe it was February, a sperm whale carcass died, or a sperm whale carcass appeared off Waikiki, and 3 huge great white sharks appeared there. And they were feeding on the carcass, and the people who worked at One Ocean Diving, who were there at the time, were able to swim with them and see these creatures in person. So this picture, and there are many others, you can Google it and watch videos online of her swimming with these huge sharks who are supposed to be terrifying and bloodthirsty and the worst creatures you can ever imagine. That's all they are. They're sharks, and they're calm. So this is Rory. She's a Galapagos shark at One Ocean Diving, and I've swum with her a couple times. She's a really unique shark, and she likes certain people, which is funny. You can see in this picture, she's making direct eye contact with one of the safety divers named Sophie and with me, and she's really close to us, and she just wanted to check us out because, like I said, they're incredibly curious. So sharks have this bad rap because they attack humans. But realistically, that's because the humans are doing some bad things. So when you see a shark, if you ever do, you don't need to splash around, you don't need to swim away as fast as you can, because that's what provokes them. You just want to turn around and you want to make eye contact with them so they know that you're not a prey running away from them, but you're just equals. And you look at them and they say, oh, okay, I won't mess with you, you're looking right back at me. And you want to make small movements, and you don't want to splash a bun, because that's exactly what prey do. So as long as you don't look like that, you're going to be set. So I'm not saying go jump in the water with a shark next time you see one, because it is best to have experience with professionals. So if you have a chance, go out with someone like One Ocean Diving to experience these animals in like a safer environment. But if you do run into a shark, just do those, well, don't do those things, and you'll be totally fine. So these are a human surfer, which are commonly attacked by sharks, a sea turtle, and a sea lion. But sharks have really poor eyesight, and this is all they see. All three of these things, sea turtles being tiger sharks' main prey, and sea lions being great white sharks and other large sharks' main prey, it all looks exactly the same to them. So this is why humans get attacked. It's just a misunderstanding. And you don't see humans being devoured by sharks because they don't eat them. Sharks usually do an investigatory bite. That's why sometimes people will end up losing a leg or an arm, or they just have a little bite. Like if you saw Diving Deep, he had a small bite on his arm. They just are curious, like I said, and they want to kind of see what they're getting into, because this is all they see, and they have terrible eyesight. They use the sensors that are across their nose and their lateral line down their sides to investigate what they're running into. So, as you can see, sharks attack barely any people per year. That actually is a lot more people than it happens. As Rob said, there's only about 5 attacks per year. And there's more attacks than that, but 5 people are killed per year. And this, along with that entire list, each shark representing a million sharks being killed, are killed per hour. So that's kind of a ridiculous number if you see how many sharks. And you saw at the end of the film, there was 25,000 sharks were killed in that short little time period. And it's all completely legal. You saw the huge loopholes people are finding to just be able to ship sharks rather than like kill them and bring them on the exact same boat. It's as easy as that for them to make billions of dollars. So sharks are incredibly important. They are apex predators, so this means that they're at the tippy top of the food chain, and they're a keystone species. So if you take out sharks, everything below will collapse, which means our entire ocean. And if that happens, like we have no oceans, we'll have no snow, because we can't go skiing, because you really need the oceans to be healthy for the rest of the world to function. So that's one of the reasons why sharks are so incredibly important. They keep balance throughout the entire ocean. So what can you all do to protect sharks? Because not one person can't do it all. We all have to make contributions. So here are 10 things you can do. The first thing is to learn as much as you can about sharks. So being here right now is a great start for all of you. And then also, do not use shark products. So as you saw in the film, everyday things such as cosmetics and dog food and cat food, they could have sharks in them. And like any type of shark meat is really bad, because that means a shark died to be put into it. So we have to avoid all products like that. And reducing your seafood consumption is great, because even if you're not eating sharks themselves, with fishing like long lines and those drift nets, many sharks are killed along with other animals. And then avoid using single-use plastics. That's just a great rule of thumb for our entire earth, not only sharks, but that kind of protects everything. And the toxins that are in plastics are really poisoning other things besides sharks too. And then write to your legislators. So in Hawaii, they're still working on passing a bill to make sharks killing illegal completely on the island. So you can actually call and write letters and email legislators, because that's where the real change happens, up in the government levels. Because me standing up here telling you that you shouldn't kill sharks might help all of you, but not really sharks as a whole. And talking to your local educators, so me or Gianna or really anyone who knows anything about the ocean, is great for you to just start to expand your knowledge. And then you can start to expand other people's knowledge. So hopefully all of you will go tell one person, oh man, I saw this cool film and I learned about sharks. Sharks aren't really that bad. Then they tell 2 other people, blah, blah, blah. Like it expands so quickly. And then if you donate/volunteer with conservation organizations, that's also really great, because then the money goes directly to helping sharks. And then speaking out when you see abuse. So that awful, awful clip when the guy was beating the nurse shark over the head with the hammer, like that is scarring. If you ever see anything like that, if you're traveling, just report it, because then those people can get like punished, and hopefully it will stop happening. And then go diving with sharks. If you're ever in Hawaii or anywhere near the ocean, there's usually a shark diving company, and it's a great experience. You might be scared of sharks. You could be terrified of sharks. And if they say that you're going to be safe and you follow their instructions, I'm sure you would be. And it's just an amazing experience. Once those creatures make eye contact with you, it's something that you'll never forget. It's the best feeling ever. And then spreading awareness on social media. So some great pages are Mano-Collective, which is my little company that I just started. You can follow them, One Ocean Diving, Project Kolika, and of course Team Sharkwater, who they've also, you can watch Rob's TED Talk along with Sharkwater, which was their first Sharkwater movie, to learn more about sharks. And then whenever you post something about sharks, which hopefully you will, you can do #HelpSharks, Save Sharks, Stop Shark Fishing, End Shark Finning, and all of these get linked to a greater good, which is what hashtags do, I guess. And then more people see them, and more people kind of get the word about saving sharks. So thank you so much for all being here. Hopefully you learned something. And hopefully that movie made an impact on you. It's really inspiring, but also really heartbreaking. So I hope you walk away with something good from that. Does anyone have any questions about sharks or anything like that in general? Cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here.